Hey there, welcome back to Cheap Guitars. I'm Cody, and this channel we review budget gear, and not just guitars, because today we have a bass that's been reviewed a million times, and I watched all the reviews on YouTube before I bought it, and they didn't lie. It is the Gretsch Electromatic G2220, I think is what they call this one. It is a beautiful, well, I'm losing it left and right over here. My cord fell out, hitting my guitar stand, which we'll get to that guitar stand in a minute. It was a budget guitar stand. But this bass is absolutely beautiful. I don't know how well you can see the burst on that, but it is a gorgeous bass. The neck profile for me is perfect. It's slim. It's not too narrow. Believe it or not, the action and intonation was perfect on this thing when I got it, but of course I had to restring it with new strings. But in the band that I play in, we play tune down a half step and then drop D. My biggest concern was that the strings would just be too loose and sloppy to even play. That's not the case. It's right on the cusp, but that's not the case. I did buy some thicker strings, but haven't done the nut work or anything. So I tuned it back up, still in drop D, but everyone online said, hey, it doesn't have humbuckers. It don't have humbuckers. Hey, guess what? It doesn't have humbuckers, and you can get money back or sue Gretsch, or they lied. They said it has humbuckers. It doesn't have humbuckers, and guess who doesn't care? This guy. Yeah, man, this thing sounds amazing, and for as cheap as it is, and you can get it, it's an incredible value in my book. And we play really heavy music, but again, when I set it up for that tension and that tuning, I could get the strings so low on it that it was really unbelievable. Now that I've tuned it back up and I'm still in drop D, of course the actions come up a little bit. If I was going to keep it in tuning like this, I would have to go in and adjust the truss rod. I will say this, the deep south, Gulf South weather definitely affects this neck more than some of the other necks of the guitars that I own, but not terribly. I mean, if you switch tunings and switch strings quite often, you're probably used to adjusting a truss rod in the neck, but the truss rod, very responsive. It's easy to get great action out of this. Did I mention it doesn't have humbuckers? Well, it doesn't have humbuckers, just in case you were wondering. Anyway, I'm playing through my Fender Rumble 40, which, by the way, really great amp, especially for the money. I play a 5-string sometimes. Oh, by the way, I'm not a bass player. Not a guitar player, not a bass player, but I play a 5-string sometimes, and obviously just being a single 10-inch speaker with a 40-watt amp, it doesn't cover that low B like a more robust amp would, but I actually did a gig with this amp this weekend. No issues at all. It was, I don't know how many people were there, a lot. And I just lined out of it. Sounded amazing. So anyway, I'm going to give you some tones off this. And the reason that I decided to do a video on a bass that has a million videos done on it already is because, one, most of the people that reviewed it were actual really good bass players, and I am not. So I figured I'd do a review by a guy who plays a bass like a gorilla, and you could see, because maybe you're in that same boat too. Also, I play dirty a lot, and I normally play through a Doug Pinnick Tech 21 preamp pedal when I'm playing in the band that I'm in, and it's, again, unreal pedal. But this amp has a nice dirty channel, so I'm going to play some with this bass both with my fingers and with a pick. I should say I'm going to try and play this bass with my fingers and with a pick. It's got a 3-way toggle switch, a tone knob. I'm not going to mess with the tone knob. I'm going to keep the volume wide open. I don't play very nuanced, which you will see here in just a second. So please keep the hate mail to a minimum. I'm not a real bass player. All right, so by the way, we're starting with all the EQs set at 12 o'clock. The amp is maybe on 1, maybe. I've got my pick here. It's a Dunlop 88 millimeter. In case you're wondering, that's the pick that I'm going to play with. So yeah, it's pretty thick. It definitely moves the strings. I don't think my cord is happy with me right now. All right, so we'll start in the bridge position. The bridge position, not humbucker. This is what the drop D sounds like. This is what the A sounds like. By the way, the intonation was spot on with this thing when it came. Alright, so a little basic kind of progression for you. Again, on the not humbucking bridge pickup. Alright, same thing in the middle position. Much more robust, as you can hear, a whole lot warmer. Again, both volume and tone wide open. Oh, neck position, not humbucker. Okay, same progression with a pick, if I can play it. Again, that was bridge position, not humbucking. Middle position, kind of the same riff. I won't mess it up. You get the tone idea. And neck position, not humbucker. Now we're going to do the same thing and put it on dirty. Alright, I'm going to try to do the same riff with a pick, because generally if you're going to play this dirty, you're probably using a pick. By the way, when I put it on the dirty channel, the not humbucking pickups, are they humbuckers? No, I don't think so. Alright, on the non-humbucking, the still non-humbucking bridge position. By the way, again, the amp, everything at 12 o'clock. And I'm on the vintage setting with no bright or any of that contour or any of that pushed. So it sounds like this. Alright, middle position, By the way, middle position, no hum. Go figure. And finally, still not humbucking neck position. By the way, not a lot of noise. I can live with it. Okay, and a shout out to Ola England. Rock on, friend. Will it chug? Honestly, I'm not real sure. We don't do many songs that chug, so I'm gonna guess yes. How about we crank the distortion wide open and then hear if it chugs? Bridge position. In the bridge position. So look, I couldn't be happier with this instrument. It's beautiful, it's lightweight. Yes, I did change the tuners and the knobs, took the pick guard off and put a new bridge on it just to basically black it out. Cannot find black pickup covers to save my life, so if you know of anyone that has some black pickup covers that fit this particular model, please just leave a comment or DM me. That's fine. I think that's it. DM me, whatever. Like and subscribe if you want to. That's up to you. Love the Fender Rumble amp. Love the Gretsch Electromatic bass. By the way, doesn't weigh hardly anything. I'm going to guess probably sub 8 pounds. I mean, it doesn't weigh much. It's balanced really well. There's just a whole lot to like about this bass. Unless you want humbuckers. I mean, if you want humbuckers, this isn't your bass. Or maybe it is your bass and you stick a humbucker in it. But for me and what I do and the music we play, just kind of not even part-time, it fits the bill perfectly. I want to show you the case that I keep it in and some other cases that I own that it fits in like a glove. Because if you buy a bass case or a bass gig bag for this, it's not going to fit. It is 30 inches. I think it's a 30-inch scale length. But it fits in every guitar case and guitar bag that I own. I'm not a big case guy, hard case guy. Almost every instrument I own lives in a bag, travels in a bag, goes to gigs in bags, and comes home in bags because I don't leave them laying around. Guitar case, to me, says steal me, but I just keep them in a bag. I can keep them handy, I can keep them with me, I can store a whole lot more in a bag than I can in a case, and I think they, quite frankly, provide about as much protection. And you can fly with them. You know, whenever they call me to go to the Hammersmith Odeon or whatever the Megadome is in England, yeah, probably not going to happen. but I'll be ready if they do. All right, give me a second, and I'm going to show you some cases that this fits in like a glove. Okay, this is the bag that the Gretsch lives in. It is a World Tour 20 millimeter guitar bag. It's cheap, very cheap. It's 20 millimeters, but this guitar fits in it perfectly. So here is the bag, and this is what the Gretsch looks like roughly inside the bag. I just stuck it in there so you could see how it fit. Again, it's a guitar bag. It fits great. This is the next bag that it fits in. This is a slightly better Levi's bag. And the final bag it fits in is the Gator, which is a very nice bag. The Gator is by far the nicest bag I have. Well, no, I'm not going to say the nicest. I got one from Toman, a leatherette bag that's probably just as nice, but this is the one that my Sire U5 lives in, and again, it fits like a glove. Nice bag, ton of protection. Couldn't be happier. So, if you're planning on getting a Gretsch bass and need a nice way to transport it, store it, keep it, depends on your price points. I mean, you're looking at 30 bucks, $100, and I don't remember what I gave for this. So thank you again for joining me for another edition of Cheap Guitars. Again, the Musician's Gear stand, not a bad stand. It'll hold your instrument, just doesn't do it square if you're looking for one. Any of these three bags behind me will hold the Gretsch perfectly, which doesn't have humbuckers. If it did have humbuckers, the bags would probably still hold it perfectly. Just guessing. Don't know. Who could tell? I mean, how could you tell? Who could ever know? There's really no way you could know. I'm Cody, Cheap Guitar Chill. I'll see you next time. Thank you guys. Bye.